I'm talking about real legacy, the kind that changes the trajectory of your children's lives, the kind that rewrites a story built on pain, betrayal, public humiliation, and heartbreak. The kind of legacy that flips every low season into a stepping stone for generational power. If you've been paying attention to what just unfolded with Melody Shari and her daughter Mariah Rogers at New York Fashion Week, then you already know this wasn't just another momager moment. This was a mic drop. This was a statement. This was a masterclass in how to take what life tried to break and turn it into a blueprint for lasting influence and undeniable impact. Picture this. A 13-year-old girl from Huntsville, Alabama, nowhere near the glitz of Hollywood, nowhere near the hustle of New York, certainly not in the usual celebrity circles, steps onto the scene at one of the most elite fashion events in the world. And she's not stepping on that stage as a model, nor as a +1, nor as someone who merely tagged along. She is there as a designer, a creator, a visionary. Mariah Rogers, at the age of 13, made history as one of the youngest feature designers ever to walk the halls of New York Fashion Week, showcasing a full tennis-inspired collection that felt vibrant, daring, and unapologetically hers. Every stitch, every pattern, every outfit was a declaration that age is no barrier to excellence when preparation meets passion. It was bold, it was refreshing. It was a statement that the world wasn't just going to see her, they were going to remember her. And here's the part that makes this story so extraordinary. Her mother, Melody Shari, didn't just help her get there. She planned for this moment years ago. While the world was busy arguing, gossiping, throwing shade on daytime television, and dissecting every move of her personal life, Melody was building quietly, deliberately, and relentlessly. You see, this is the same woman who was once stuck in a crumbling marriage that the world got to watch unfold in real time. The cheating scandals, the public betrayal, the relentless disrespect from Martell Hull, and the ceaseless commentary from social media influencers and commentators like Arian Curry and Miss Wanda, it would have destroyed most people. Most people would have been broken, most people would have laid low, kept their heads down, and survived, but not Melody. She didn't just survive, she pivoted. She planted seeds. She built the foundations of a legacy that would bloom years later, and now the harvest is before the world to see. This is not just a story of a young girl achieving something remarkable, it's a story of strategy, discipline, and vision. You have to understand how rare this is. There are grown, seasoned designers with decades of experience, countless industry connections, and years of study who still haven't had their names on an official NYFW lineup. And here comes Mariah, a middle schooler whose name is printed alongside some of the biggest and most celebrated names in the fashion world, with models walking down the runway wearing her creations, backed by a mother who did more than hope for her child's success. She prepared for it with foresight and tenacity. Melody didn't wait for the world to give her daughter a shot. She built the stage herself. Even while dragging herself out of the mud, while overcoming the shame, betrayal, and doubt that had been thrown at her for years. And this wasn't some cutesy, playful kids collection. No, these designs were sharp, edgy, stylish, and bold, infused with confidence and vision. The line spoke for itself. It shouted, "We are here, we belong, get used to it." Backstage, when Melody texted Mariah a screenshot of a model walking down the runway in one of her creations, the young designer's reaction captured everything that makes the story so moving. Mariah simply said, "Oh my God, I love it." But this wasn't just a win, this wasn't a fleeting moment of excitement. This was a core memory, a moment that rewires a child's belief in themselves forever, a memory that will inform every decision she makes as she grows. And that, at the heart of it, is what legacy is really about. It's not about fame or recognition, it's about giving someone the belief and tools to see their own potential and step confidently into it. But here's what makes the story even more powerful. Melody wasn't just there clapping from the sidelines, she had her own stage to shine on. Her 7th Avenue beauty brand, something she built from scratch without a massive corporation or celebrity backing, was front and center at New York Fashion Week. The products she used to sell while rebuilding her life, body butters, soaps, elixirs, were now being used by professional models in one of the world's highest pressure beauty environments. This wasn't just about branding. This was about impact. walking into a space where most people said she didn't belong and making it undeniably clear that she did, all while bringing her daughter along for the ride. It was proof of what happens when focus, discipline, and heart combine with vision. While Melody and Mariah were taking over New York Fashion Week with style, grace, and substance, Martell Hull once again made headlines, but not for business, not for fatherhood, not for any meaningful achievement. He made headlines for drama, for chaos, for noise. Every time Melody takes a major step forward, Martell pops up online like a storm cloud trying to block the sun. Social media users began connecting the dots, noticing that the timing of his posts was uncanny. As soon as videos of Mariah's line hit the internet, Martell was back, posting vague messages, relationship hints, or cryptic statements. It's as if he can't help himself. The louder Melody shines, the more desperate he becomes to reclaim relevance. But no matter how loud he gets, he cannot drown out the applause, because what Melody and Mariah achieved is beyond clout. It is proof. Proof that from betrayal can emerge something greater. Proof that survival isn't enough, growth is possible, and it can be remarkable. And this is what separates those who lead from those who merely exist. Martell had every opportunity to be part of the legacy he could have shared with his daughter. He was there when the foundation was being laid, but instead of protecting the family name and stepping into responsibility, he allowed ego and chaos to distract him. Now he's on the sidelines, watching a mother and daughter duo build a legacy without him. That's the price of misusing influence. But this story isn't about revenge, it's about evolution. Some people get stuck in resentment, in blame, in chaos. Others rise. Melody chose growth. She chose strategy. She chose leadership. And in doing so, she became a beacon not just for her daughter, but for every person who's ever been underestimated or overlooked. While everyone else was distracted by the glitz, the cameras, and the spectacle, Melody's real victory was backstage, where the quiet yet powerful work happens. Models described her as warm, uplifting, and full of energy. She wasn't there merely to promote a product. She was there to lift people up, to remind everyone around her, and especially her daughter, that they were meant to shine. That is leadership. That is legacy. That is someone who has been through the fire and refused to let it harden them. Instead, Melody turned every insult, every betrayal, every moment of doubt into a blueprint, a map her children could follow to navigate life with confidence, grace, and power. Now look at Mariah Rogers, a 13-year-old middle schooler, walking a path that most adults only dream about. She didn't get there because of virality or luck. She got there because her mother made sure the door was wide open when she was ready to walk through it. That's power. That's intentionality. That's legacy in motion. And the best part is, Mariah earned the spotlight. She wasn't handed anything. Her designs were intentional, structured, and full of personality. She was making a statement, not playing dress up, and the world noticed. People who had never heard of Love and Marriage Huntsville were asking, who is Mariah Rogers? That recognition, coming from strangers, from industry insiders, is proof that the work of building legacy is hitting far beyond personal circles. Watching a child step into a dream that was once only a whisper in their parents' heart is powerful. That runway moment was more than fashion. It was a living, breathing symbol of what happens when strategy meets vision, when preparation meets opportunity, and when love meets discipline. For Melody, this wasn't chance or luck. This was intentional. Every business she built, every deal she negotiated, every tear wiped behind closed doors, it was all part of a master plan, and now that plan is playing out for the world to witness. Even back in the early days, when Melody was juggling a failing marriage alongside her entrepreneurial pursuits, people only saw the drama. They missed the discipline. She wasn't reacting to life, she was rerouting it piece by piece, constructing her future with intention. She built 7th Avenue from the ground up. She nurtured a loyal online community. She converted pain into podcasts, lessons into live streams, and setbacks into fuel. Where others vented on social media, she built. And now her results speak louder than any clapback could. Because the ultimate power move isn't yelling, it's quietly winning so hard that even your detractors have to applaud. And that's where Melody is today.
Her daughter is thriving, her business is thriving, her story is thriving. She did it all without compromising her values, without chasing approval, without bending to the whims of online noise. Mariah isn't just benefiting from her mother's legacy, she's extending it. That is how generational shifts happen. That is how survival turns into significance. Mariah is walking her own path on a road paved with her mother's sacrifice, vision, and wisdom. This is more than fashion. This is a blueprint for parents everywhere. For Black mothers, for daughters, for families often subjected to narratives of struggle, broken homes, and drama, this is a statement. Excellence can be the standard. Grace, grit, glamour, and growth can coexist. Heartbreak doesn't have to define the next generation. And the NYFW crowd may have only seen outfits, but those following Melody for years saw redemption. They saw a mother refusing bitterness. They saw a little girl stepping into her own voice. They saw the power of preparation meeting opportunity, of confidence being poured into the next generation. And perhaps the most beautiful part, Mariah, in the midst of this triumph, still responded like a normal 13-year-old, with excitement, disbelief, emojis, and exclamation points. That innocence combined with achievement is rare, and it is deliberate. Melody never rushed her. She allowed her daughter to remain a child while preparing her for moments like this. This isn't the end of the story, it is only the beginning. Now the world knows Mariah Rogers, now the fashion world knows 7th Avenue Beauty, and now the blueprint has been laid. Legacy isn't what you leave behind, it's what you build while you're still here. Melody built it, she walks in it, and the world is watching.